Hey leaders, it's week 6, time for a business checkup. Each week we'll look at a concept from operations management so that you and your team can identify where we need to focus and align so that we can improve less and get better results. This week we're talking about demand, specifically average daily demand. In operations, we want to set a nominal capacity that we're striving for, that all of our supply, material handling, and standard work are designed to support so that we have that consistency that is a platform for continuous improvement. Now, to get to average daily demand, we need to understand what demand is. So demand on our system is the volume and mix of different products and services that our operations provides. This demand profile comes through a sales forecast, which is typically looking at historical performance, as well as upcoming promotions, new product introductions, product obsolescence, as well as trends that they see in the marketplace in terms of competition and seasonality. Now, as we understand the demand profile across the year, we want to work to normalize that to a level that we can support consistently in the business. This also helps us make decisions in terms of carrying inventory to buffer against variation or unpredictable demand, whether that be by season or large orders dropped in within a month. To get to average daily demand, we look at a demand profile across a given period of time, let's say a month, and we look at the operating days within that month to fulfill that. So a simple example would be if I have 100 units of demand to fulfill within a month and 20 operating days within that month, I would take the 100 units, divide it equally across the 20 days, and that would tell me to level load my schedule at 5 units per day. Now, most of your operations are probably not that simple. It changes, but we want to create a level load. So if we went out across a quarter, the month-to-month volume may change, but over the quarter we want to level load production so that we can keep up with demand but maintain that stability, which is good for standard and quality and continuous improvement. Another complication you might say is we don't produce one product. Great. We also need to think about accumulating the demand in terms of product families. Where do we have a machine, an assembly line, a team that produces a suite of similar products, which we would call a product family? The demand of that product family is usually constrained by, say, a set of machines or a production line that can only produce one of those variants at a time. So now we know the accumulated demand across the product family needs to divide into those days. So if we go back and say, well, I don't just have one product, I have 3 products, and all 3 of those products need a demand of 100 units per day, and I have 20 days to produce. So for that product family, I have 300 units of demand to support over the 20 days of production, and my average daily demand is 15 units. This is going to help us from an operations standpoint understand the demand that we have and the capacity within the system. We can make decisions about strategic process improvements, capital investments, expanding resources through additional shifts, more staffing, planned overtime, or using a contract manufacturer to support. These type of decisions should be made in a strategic mindset by first understanding our demand profile and seeing where we have gaps in the system, not as a ad hoc reaction to the latest crisis or firefighting. I hope that you take the time to understand the demand on your system and the average daily demand you need to support so you can make more strategic decisions about improvements, investments, and inventory. So here's something you can do. Look across the products or services you provide and identify a family, a set of products that go through common processes or equipments. Thinking to an organization I worked with early in my career that was doing metal stamping. So they would stamp, form, clean, paint, and pack. And there was a couple products that used the same set of equipment. And so when we identify the cumulative demand on all of these products, we understand the average daily demand on those processes by dividing that demand over the normal working operating days within that year. Getting a good understanding of average daily demand knows, do I have the capacity or inventory to handle demand and demand fluctuations in my business? We'll see you next month.